Beneath the bluebird skies and scattered throughout its breathtaking vistas, Nevada is home to well over 200,000 abandoned mines. With over 500,000 of these in the western United States, this makes Nevada an abandoned mine explorer's dream come true. Today, on Abandoned and Forgotten Places, we begin our 2022 summer exploring season with a tungsten mine that operated from the mid-1940s through to the 1950s. Tungsten is refined to make tungsten carbide, a wear-resistant material used in cutters, drill bits, and many other metalworking tools. Now, come with me as I look for alternate access into the gray metals mine.
Take me back to the old dirt road where Mama and Papa used to go. Let's sing all them songs from a long time ago and pine for the moment.
Well, hey guys, welcome back. Good to see you again. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Good golly, I gotta tell you. You know, you can make all the plans in the world, but until you put your plans into the hands of somebody else, that's when everything can kind of go crazy. But even though it took longer than it expected, Summit 4x4 did a hell of a nice job on my fenders, and now I have all the clearance necessary for the new tires and lift kit, and that's what I was going after. And a few other things since the Jeep was in the shop, but it's good to be back. I'm happy to get back out here again, finally. Boy, oh boy, was it ever getting hot in Arizona. Whew, I gotta tell you. But here we are, back in Nevada. It's a nice chilly, well, when I woke up this morning, it was 27 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's a little bit chilly, but it is the month of May in Nevada. And wow, do I ever have a lot of mines for you guys this coming summer. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So we're gonna start out today with a group of 7 mines, and these are all tungsten mines. Now, what today is gonna be is kind of somewhat of like a part of a recon mission, let's just call it, as well as hopefully we can get into some of these locations. I'm really hoping that the BLM or the Forest Service hasn't barred them off. Now I know that there's at least 1 or 2 vertical shafts in this group, and those are the ones I want to recon. That's what we're doing first right now, because I want to see if this is something that we can get into at a later date with some ropes. I pulled up the information about this mine, and the shaft is only 365 feet deep, but it has 5,000 feet of underground workings. That's a lot of drifts. That's a pretty incredible mine. So let's head up to this one first, do a little bit of recon, see if it's something that we can get into, and then we'll slowly work our way from south to north all along this group and see which one of these mines we can get into. All right, let's head up this road.
Let me wind down my days in the sweet dusty haze. Take me back down the old dirt road. Oh, take me back down the old dirt road. Take me back down the old dirt road.
Okay, we're just about here. And yeah, it looks like the BLM of the Forest Service has been busy on this one. Let's take a look at it, shall we? Let's see if it's something we might be able to get into. Oh yeah. Yeah, they've been hard at work barring this one up, haven't they? But we've got an incline shaft here. We sure do. Let me show you. Okay, let me show you what we have here. Yep, we've got an incline shaft. That's fantastic. I wanted to see that. I'm glad it's an incline instead of a vertical. There's a whole lot of air blowing out of there. There's definitely a stiff breeze. That's really good, because tungsten mines, because tungsten's often associated with a lot of sulfide material, tend to have bad air, especially at the lower levels. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Now, this was up in operation at around, it was the late 40s in through the mid 50s, this one here. Off in the distance there, right about there, you can see there's their powder shack. That's where they had the dynamite. And an ore bin here because they were loading trucks and hauling it to a mill is what was going on. We've got some ore separation going on right here in front of me. Looking down, I'm not seeing any tungsten ore sticking out except for maybe right there. And they're also pulling silver out of this mine, which was associated with a mineral called barite. You can always get silver out of barite. Now, I'm still looking at this, seeing if it's something maybe we could take a look at a later date. But at least now we know what it is. Now, I'm not going to go crazy on this right now. I just wanted to look at it for today. This is one we will take another look at in the future, because in this area there's a lot of adits, horizontal adits, and those are the ones that I want to explore today. Let's take a look at the shack here real quick where they had the winch. We'll just peek inside since we're right here. Here we are. Yep. And go back here. So down here on the floor, you can see the studs. That's where the winch would have been mounted. And then out through that, right there, that looks like a doorway. That's probably where the cables went out, and quite possibly another cable went out through what appears to be that center window there. This is not wood. It's metal. Yeah, pretty neat. What do you say we take a look? Well, let me look right up here real quick. Oh, probably an area where another shack used to be of some sort. turning around, let's look down on this shaft. We got a beautiful view out there in front of us. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one to explore at a later date. What do you say we get a nice aerial shot of this area? Take a look. All right, well, that's 1 out of 7. I looked all over the perimeter of those bars, and unfortunately they bottom barred it, and Mother Nature has not done enough of her work for me to slip underneath. And I'm not the kind of person that breaks into barred abandoned mines. You just got to kind of look at it like this. Some days the BLM and the Forest Service wins, some days I win, and that's just how this game is played. It is a Class 6 felony to cut into or break into through the bat bars or a barred mine, and that's not something you want to get in trouble with. So unfortunately, yeah, that would have been a great one. I mean, lots of workings under there. We're just not going to be able to get into it. So we're off to number 2 for the day. Let's go see what this next one's all about. I'll see you over there. Okay. Well, now this is looking a little more promising, except the fact that I can see a fence around it. This area is pretty well known, I'm guessing. Let's see if there's a gate up here or any kind of signage. It's not showing private property on my maps, but this area I do believe is national forest, so we'll just have to see what we find up here. Lots of buildings. I see a big ore bin up on the hill over there. Yeah, not seeing any signage. I've seen a fire pit. People have been coming out here doing a little camping. Chain around the gate and an opening in the fence. Well, that's always a plus. Yeah, I'm afraid that the adits and shafts throughout this area are going to be similar to what we just found at that last one. This is what I tend to always find when I get on national forest lands. It seems like the money is allocated to bar off these abandoned mines went towards national forest first before they went towards a BLM. That's why I find a lot of open mines more on BLM than I do national forest. But like I said earlier, sometimes Mother Nature allows us access given enough time. Let's look around here and see what we can find. All right, guys, let's see what some of these outbuildings have to offer. They look pretty cool. Now, normally I would save these outbuildings for my other channel, Adventure Coolness, because I know you guys, most all of you like to see what's going on underground. Wait, let's look over here real quick. We got a fire pit. Yep, lots of visitors out here. Anyways, as I was saying, most of you like to see what's going on underground, and I would save outbuildings for my other channel, Adventure Coolness, which I'm still working on. But today, I'm going to give you a peek at the outbuildings because it's looking like it's going to be one of those days where the Forest Service has completely kept us out of most of these locations, but I'm still looking. Yeah, I can tell this is definitely, we're in the 40s to early 50s here. Yep. Heck, when you got drywall, you know everything's pretty new. We're going to take a peek real quick. Really not much to see. We'll just go room by room. If I see something that looks pretty cool, I'll make sure to show it to you. Let's see what's back. Nice big bedrooms. Yeah. I'm glad to see that these haven't been all spray painted. Looks like there's been some people in here doing some paintball. See that kind of stuff right there? That drives me crazy. The reason that the floor is cut out is because somebody thought somebody was hiding something, so they got in here and cut out the floor. You know, yeah, an old closet, and anything up there. And if you want to get into the attic, there it is right there. Yeah, but there's a whole lot of pack rat houses up in there. So we're going to work our way quickly through these buildings. Not much to see in this one, but across the way over here, there is a Caterpillar engine. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, look at what we have here. Very cool. An old Cat. That's real similar to the engine. Well, actually, it's quite a bit bigger than the one that was in my D4 Cat. Mine was a 56 or a 57 when I had my gold mine. Used a pony motor to get it up and running. And then after the pony motor kicks in and turns over the big engine, then you got your throttle right here. See, half, full run. Ours had something very similar. Power unit 1N1844SP. But I'm not seeing a date on it right now. So if you want to look that up, 1N1844SP is the unit number. If a date pops out, I'll be sure to show it to you. Look at there, the fan still spins. After all these years. There's a plate right there. I'll get a better look at that for you. I'll take a picture with my phone. Here it is. Check it out. And right there, Caterpillar. Let's go around the side here. And the clutch. And pulley. Okay. Let's work on to the next location. All right, made it to the top of the waste rock pile. What a beautiful view. I can't tell you just how much I love Nevada. I love all the western states. Each one has something unique to offer. But the vistas, see, I'm a vista kind of guy. I love a good vista. And Nevada just has some fantastic vistas. Look at that. All right. So we had, at one time, the rail came out of the primary portal which is right behind me. We'll look at that next. We got a grizzly on top of that, keeping the large rock out. Down there we had some kind of a power unit, I think. No, I'm taking that back. I take that back. For a second there, I thought that those were insulators on that tower, but I think that there was some sort of a shaker deck on that, shaking the large rocks off. We're gonna go down and get a better look at it. Let's see if I can find a safe way down there. Yeah, let's go over here. Here we go. There, just like that. Now, as I'm walking around here, I'm looking for any samples of like barite or tungsten, or if I see one, I'll be sure to show it to you. But right now, nothing's really popping out at my eyeballs. Okay, here, hey, that looks right there, almost looks like the gearbox in my '69 Ford F100 that I had as a teenager. That's the truck that I owned and drove to school every day. Fully restored. It was an absolute beauty. I used to use that to win car shows. Down here we got a big gear. And let's see here. You suppose these big fat 10 by 10s or 8 by 8s will hold my weight? Let's hop up and down and see. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, that one's on top of some bracing. I think we're fine there. There we go. Ooh, now we're getting up there. Okay. Let's look down on there. That looks like another gearbox of some sort down there. And that right there is the shaker deck. Notice that there's a hole in all four corners. Now that shaker deck used to be hooked up on that right there. See those four cables dangling down all four corners? Well, that's where it hung. Now look at the springs on top there. Before I thought that those were insulators for power, they're not. So this was indeed a shaker deck at one time, shaking them large rocks off so that only the small ones came out down the chute, and that's what got hauled off to the mill. Now, speaking of mill, I haven't been able to find that yet. I'm still searching for it. I'm looking into the history books on this area. I would like to find the mill because this place processed a whole heck of a lot of tungsten ore. Now, look up on the side of the hill up there. You see all them waste rock piles? We're going to go up there a little bit later because if the primary adit or portal is closed, we might be able to get in higher up and possibly an open stope. And then off to my left up here, now this is something I didn't see on Google Earth. Way up into the up there in the bottom of that valley, something looks like a tower up there. I don't know what that is. I didn't see it, so we're gonna go check that out. Could that be another shaft? It doesn't look like a head frame. It looks like something completely different. Let's head over to the portal next. All right. Let's see if we can get into this portal. Ooh, still doing a bunch of huffing and puffing. Yeah, I'm at a higher altitude. Well, where I was at in Arizona is only about 1,800 feet in elevation. Here we're at 6,700. So I'm still kind of getting acclimated. Let's set the camera down here for a second and let's take a closer look at this. Wow. That is a big portal. And look at the size of these. Those are 4x4 solid steel, 1/4 inch thick. Now see, this one here shakes. Now I'm really happy. Now if anybody out there works with the BLM or the Forest Service, I'm happy to see you guys are finally doing something right for a change. And that is, when you're contracting these things out, this bar right here, you're making it in such a way, or they're making it in such a way to where it can be removed. For example, like this one here, I can feel around the back. What's in place is called a puck lock. So if indeed you did get permission, you could go to the Forest Service and at least get the key, take off the puck lock. This slides out and then you can access the mine. A lot of the older contracts, especially from the 90s, they didn't do that. They just barred them up and sealed off the mine forever. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. At least now they're making them in such a way to where you can still access them upon permission. Let me show you guys. I'll give you a peek of what's in here. That's just too bad. Let's look. I don't know if I get my angle. Kind of hard to get. Look at the size of the rail. That's right around 24 gauge. But look at the thickness of that. They were using very large ore cars to get the ore in and out of here. They weighed a lot. So for them to put that kind of rail infrastructure into this mine tells me these workings were really substantial. If I find another piece, here it is. Maybe this, yeah. Look at the size of the rail here, right here. That's a monster. Darn, that's too bad. This would have been a really good mine to access. You guys would have loved it, but we're not done. We're going to keep poking around. We're going to look at the rest of these buildings. I can see that we've got a powder shack off to our left. We're going to go check out what that head frame looking structure is. And then we're going to work higher up on the hill to see if we can access an open stope. So maybe we can rope in at a later date. Let's go over here up to this building, see what's inside. So as we work our way up to the building here, look at the hills around us here. You see that? That's all dolomite limestone. Everywhere you look. And when I look further up into this valley, right up there, okay, up towards where that head frame looking thing is, I can see the vein way up there. Here, let me show you on the drone footage. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, you see that? Now look at the angle of it. Notice the dip from upper left to lower right, and it's coming right back down towards the mine where we're at. Now I'll bet if you followed that dip down underground, that's where this mine would intersect into that vein. Makes me wonder if that's part of the ore structure that's up on that hill. But down here, the values were higher. That's why they didn't go higher up on the hill to try to pull the ore out up there. It just didn't yield as much. So they started low, as they always do. Well, with these mines, they start low and use gravity to their advantage. Okay, let's see what we have in here. Lights, camera, there we go. They really put a lot of money into these buildings. Look at this, it's all tin lined, see that? Galvanized too. Hot water, it says there. Yeah, pretty modern looking electrical. Okay. Now over here we've got the powder magazine, which in my opinion is kind of small for a mine like this. Look off to my left here. See the size of them waste rock piles? That kind of gives you a good look at things from this angle. But yeah, for a mine this size, you would think that their powder magazine would be a whole heck of a lot larger. Let's take a look inside. Okay, any snakes in here? If you are, you're going to be curled up right behind the door. That's where I would always find them growing up in Wyoming. They like to curl up in the corners. Those are the first places I look when I go into buildings like this. You look into the corners before you step in. I'm not seeing any writing on the walls. However, just about the time I say that, right here, I do see, maybe I turn the lights down just a bit there, that's a bit bright. I do see right there where it says a 56. So that possibly is 1956. That's it. Nothing else in here. Okay. Ouch. That's how you hit your head. Owie. Low bridge. All right, let's work our way up to that tower looking thing. See what that's all about. But before we do that, look here, we got another compressor. Boy, there's just artifacts laying around all over out here. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, that's a compressor. Sure is. You can still see the pistons in it too. When I find things like this, I like to look for plates. Like that one right there, I see a plate. So that means what I got to do is set the camera down for a second and take a picture so I can show you guys. And then just like that, that gives you guys the opportunity to pause the video for a second and zoom in on it. Yeah, look at there. You got a piston here. That's your primary compressor piston right there, and there's two off to the side back in there. I wonder how that got busted out. Did somebody, break that on purpose, trying to remove those pistons? Because see down here, see on the ground right there, those are the pieces, the busted off pieces. I'm pretty certain that Mother Nature ain't gonna pop those like that. Somebody had to have done that. Okay, up the hill we go. Let's see what this next thing is. So look at what we've got here. Yeah, I know what that is. I've seen one of these before, but the last time I've seen one, it was in a completely different state. What do you think it is? Well, as we work our way around it here, actually before I show you the front of it, because once I show you the front, then you'll know exactly what it is. Look at the old iron wheel on that. Hard to believe this has not been removed and put in a museum somewhere. I'm kind of happy to see that. But then something like this should really be restored and put in a museum. This is super cool. Okay, ready for the reveal? Here we go. There you go. Now you know what it is. That's right, it's an old drill rig. Yep. So these were used for drilling water wells. I believe that's what they were doing with this one. I supposed you could use one for drilling core samples, because I did see some core samples laying on the ground back there. But I believe this one's primary use up here was for drilling a water well. And that's what we have right here. That's about a 10-inch cased well. And let's see. I'm gonna take a small stone here and drop it right in there. Nope, only goes down a few feet. It's plugged. Look at that. So these are from the late 20s into the 30s is what we're looking at here. Now there is some writing on that board right there, but it's really hard to make out. Wow, too cool. Look at the clutch on that right there. That's what engaged that big wheel right there. Okay, now I'm going to swing the camera around. I'm not going to step up in there. I don't want to break any boards or get myself full of grease and gear oil. Look at that. And of course the cables were wrapped around those two big spools right there. Yep. And then out the back here would have been the engine to be able to make this thing work. But the engine is long gone, and I don't think that compressor down there had anything to do with this. That's for drilling operations. Wow, that is just awesome. What a nice find. Okay, turning back around here, now what I want to do, that we're higher up on the hill, is see if we could get into one of them open stopes that I was pointing out earlier. So we're going to take the high road here. Remember, when you see something high on a hill and you want to go explore it, if you can, it's always easier to drop in on your objective from a elevated position rather than just walking straight up the hill. That's what we're doing now. So I'm gonna just aim high, and then we're gonna drop back down into them old stopes. I'll see you over there. All right, here we are at the top of the waste rock pile. And that's where we started things off. As I pan across here, down there in the bottom, you can see the powder mag where we came from, that building, and the drill rig. Now, just as I thought, we have an open stope, but darn it, the Forest Service got that one good too. We're not getting in that one. And this other open stope right over here, we're not getting into this one either. Down to my left here is what's left of a grizzly. And you can kind of make out the vein just a little bit through this section. Right here, I can see that it's mostly barite on the ground. Yep, there's a big hunk of it right there. Right there. Now, a lot of times you can get quartz confused with barite. Barite's going to have a little bit different crystal structure to it. If I find a nice piece, I'll show it to you. That one there isn't quite what I'm looking for. Okay, let's work our way up this hill. We got another portal here, or adit, whatever you'd like to call it, right there. Oh, let's take a look in here. Will we get lucky on this one? Of course not. Whew. Boy, the wind's blowing out of here like crazy. Yeah. Let's set the camera down for a second. See if we can get lucky on this one, huh? Again, they did a nice job on, yeah, that one's locked. They did a nice job on the bat bars here with the locks. You can get in and out. Not as aggressive as the other one. Now, it does look like somebody cut this one off right here to get inside. But that hole is too small for me. Yeah, I can see there's mud prints on the bars right there. I might be able to squeak through that when I was 19. Here, let's go like this so you can kind of get an idea. What do you think? Think I'm gonna get my whole body through that? I can hardly get my whole head through it. Yeah, I'm a pretty big guy. Trying to lose weight though. Lost 3 pounds in the last 3 weeks, so I guess what I'm doing it right, huh? Well, shoot, let me peek up in here. You just don't know how these adventures are going to play out till you get on site. But today's going to be one of those days, isn't it? It just keeps teasing us. Let's go further up the hill and see if we can find any more open stopes. I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky. Who knows? Whew. Yeah, that's how you burn some calories. Gated. Ah, boy. Gated. And of course, gated. Big open stope though, huh? Look at that. You always got to check. You just never know. Maybe some funny business occurred and somebody. No, unfortunately not. Wow, that would have been spectacular. Look at this. See the size of that drift right over there between the footwall and the pillar? Okay, I know it's hard to tell on camera, on video, but that's 8 feet tall and at least 8 feet wide. Kind of give you an idea of the size of this place. They really cleaned it out, but they didn't go all the way up and out. Nope. Now, over there I see some sunlight. Do you think that we could get lucky? Maybe the Forest Service missed that? I doubt it. But we've come this far, we might as well go rest of the way, huh? And keep looking around. Wouldn't that be cool if we found a back entrance into this mine? Maybe the Forest Service left this one alone. Son of a... Oh man, they thought of everything, didn't they? Yeah. That's where the light was coming from. Right here. Look at the drill steel in that rock up there. When there had cables tied off to that. I see another open stope right up there. Of course they would have, if they did this one, I'm certain they did the other one. Yeah. Yeah, I can see the gate from here. And there's another one over there. And I'm certain it's probably gated also. So, those stopes work all the way up to the top of this hill. But this is the furthest ones I've been able to find on Google Earth. So sorry guys, I did my best to try to get you into this mine today. But that's how these things play out. Now, in the old days, I would search 3, 4, 5 locations. before finally finding one we can get into and document underground. But because fuel prices are so expensive now, and of course these, you know, to get to these locations requires a lot of fuel expense. I can't afford no more actually the channel cannot afford no more to go out 4 or 5 times to try to find a location and then finally drop you guys on video into one of them. So the way we're going to have to do it this summer is you're going to come along with me on every single adventure, and whether we get into something or not, you're going to be there. I hope we can get into a whole bunch. Now, the reason this is happening today is, like I said earlier, we're on national forest, and this is how things typically play out on national forest lands, unless you find a mine that's really, really, really remote, way off the beaten path. And there are some like that I'm going to be getting to this summer, but I can't right now because the roads getting into those locations are still covered with snow fields and mud. The melt has not begun yet. It's still May. The melt really doesn't start happening in the high country around here until the first part of June. So like mid to late June and the first part of July is when we'll start to get into those mines. So what we're going to be doing is concentrating on mines that are at lower elevations. But I wanted to take a stab at this one first because it was right in the area and it just looked really cool on Google Earth. So guys, thank you so much for coming along. I really do appreciate it. And for all of you down in the comment section still asking questions about Randy and Scott. Now, the three of us aren't working together anymore. We've kind of went our own way. The collaboration is probably the last time that we're ever going to work together again on YouTube videos. Now, there might be every now and then something might come together in the future. I don't know. But Randy's off doing his thing. Scott's, or Mr. M, is off doing his thing too. I really hope he starts producing some content. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, the three of us are just kind of going our own way now and doing our own thing. So guys, again, thanks so much for coming out. Next weekend, we're going to finish on, we've got 6 more locations in this group. I'm hoping I can get into at least one of those, but we'll just have to see. Okay, all right, I'll see you again next weekend. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.